of brushes. Hi, this is Sam Ulano bringing to you a demonstration on what has been called the lost art of brushes. The drummer today has been void of playing brushes for quite a few years. With this recording, you're going to get a chance to hear some of the sounds that are important to playing brushes in a band. The brushes I'm using are made out of nylon, and they're very helpful because they give you a sharp sound. Some of the problems of playing brushes is getting the feel and filling up the sound of the band. For example, making the swish on the brush. This is created by sweeping the right hand around in a motion, sort of like a circle. And you'll notice you get a beat sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The hi-hat cymbals are always playing on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to add the bass drum to this swish sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. This is just done with the right hand. Now the left hand is swishing, forming an X. Now to bring that down a little slower, you will find that sweeping the brush in a circle for a very slow tempo with a little accent every time you make a number count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bass drum is on 1, and the hi-hat's going to go on 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the left hand is making the swish under the brush. 2, 3, 4. For slow songs, ballads, very simple sound, but it will fill up the sound of the drum. Now, if you wanted to make that same sound using the cymbals, one hand is going to swish, the left hand, hi-hat on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bass drum on 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 playing quarter notes on the cymbal. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The harder you hit the brush on the drum, the more you're going to muffle the sound of the drum. So what you have to learn how to do is just touch the head. Now if you're going to play a little faster tempo, 1, 2, 1, 3, sort of a jazz beat, you're going to get this type of sound. Brush, paint the brush, paint the brush, paint the brush. The hi-hat is coming down on 2 and 4. Bass drum on 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4 on a bass drum. But this is basic in a 2 feel. Every time you come to the left side, you have an accent. Brush, paint the 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 brush. If you want to try that a little faster tempo, it comes out the same way, only a little shorter stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Brush, paint the brush, paint the brush, paint the brush. The double sound is on the right side all the time. The accent is on the left side. Bass drum. Now if you're going to do it a little faster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Shorter stroke, hi-hat still on 2 and 4. Bass drum. This is a 2 feel. So to review, slow tempo, right hand is swishing around in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left hand is playing 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or swishing underneath. Hi-hat is on 2 and 4. Bass drum, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So there you have a picture of how to play a ballad. A very difficult sound to make for the drummer today who's been playing mostly using sticks. Now you can do the same type of sound using your cymbals if you want to be very soft, playing on the ride cymbal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, left hand playing on a hi-hat, and bass drum coming out in the same position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. If you're going to play faster, you play your left hand on hi-hat to reinforce the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jing-a-doo, dip, dip, dip-a-doo, dee-doo, bee-ba-doo, da-da, ba-ha. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-da-doo-doo-doo, ba-ba-da-da-ba-ba. So there is the first segment of this playing with brushes. Here is a musical demonstration of how you would apply the brush to a slow ballad, As Long As She Needs Me, with John Bunch on piano, Mark Trail on bass, and myself. You could play along with us. Another use of the brushes has been made by playing in the bossa nova. You'll notice that the left hand is playing a stick across the drum in a what we call the bossa nova clavi beat. And the brush with the right hand is playing eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, bass drum. So the counter would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. back of the brush on a cymbal sound the same way, only playing on top of the bell of the cymbal with the left hand still playing the clavi beat. Another form would be to play with the brush on the cymbal. Or playing with the back of the brush on a closed hi-hat. So to break the bossa nova beat down, your right hand is playing 8/8 notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Left hand is crossed over the snare drum, giving you the clavi sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. 3, 4 and bass drum. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and 1. And your hi-hat is playing on 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. Another use of the brush is when you're going to play a samba. This has been a difficult problem for a lot of drummers. The samba has a two-feel. The brush is going to be in the left hand, playing on the 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, in the basic form, and you're going to use the stick now in your right hand. 1. The bass drum and hi-hat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Samba beat. The buzz sound comes on a 2 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You go over to the tom-tom. You're going to play a samba Brazil. The samba and the brush sound is imitating a tambourine with your left hand. So we're going to break it down a little bit again. Right hand is playing da 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 ba ba ba. The brush is on the 2 and 4. Faster. Let's go back again a little bit to our brushes. There's two sounds you can make on the drum with the brush. One is with the snares on, gives you a very sharp, flat sound. You got to learn how to slap the brush by throwing it into the drum head. Holding the brush on the head and lifting it up and snapping it down. You want to get a snap sound. Now, if you play the snare drum with the snares off, you're going to get a tom-tom sound with the brush. You're going to get an echo sound. Now, some drummers like that sound when they're playing a ballad. Now, see if you can hear the difference between the snares on. It's a lot more crisp. And now the brush with the snares off. You can hear the changeover. Listen to it again. Let's discuss a little bit about how to do a drum solo using the brush. Number one, whenever you're playing brushes, the sound that you make in a drum solo should almost be like somebody doing a sand dance, where they put sand on the floor and just slide along on the sand. Remember, the easier you hit the skin, the more sound you're going to get out of the brush. So we're going to do a little bit of time, and then I'm going to do a little drum break for you, showing you how to apply the brush to a 2-bar drum break. 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Time. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I was doing a little soft shoe type of dance, it would have this kind of feel. Ba-da-da-bop. Now the faster you go, the shorter your stroke should be, even though you're doing a drum solo. Now you'll hear how it fits. Okay, now we've cleared up some of those points with the brushes. Now you can take the brush and use the back to a lot of advantages. You're playing along in a song where you're keeping your time with your brush and you need a little strength. So you turn the brush to the back and use it as a stick. Now if I played on a tom-tom, I'm using the back. Ending a song with the brush, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can use the back of the brush on open hi-hats, or on a tom-tom, or on your cymbals, which will give you the use of the brush of the back. A lot of times you have to make a rim shot sound. You're playing with brushes. You don't have time to switch to a stick. You can play along with your brush and turn the brush around, and one side you're playing with the brush, and the other side it's got the back of the brush. Now that roll on the big tom-tom was done with the back of the brush. Listen to the difference, what happens when you use just the wires of the brush. You do not have the body. Now you can also roll with the hairs of the brush by opening up your hi-hat cymbals for a light sound, or taking the brush and sliding it where the cymbal is in between the hairs of the brush and shaking it up and down. Gives you that type of effect. Now that's done by sliding the brush through the cymbal coming through the brushes, and pushing your hand up and down in a steady movement. You can almost count it. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Now a lot of times when you're playing with the brushes, you'll find if one of the hairs go out of line, don't let that bother you. Just keep making your time with the brushes. There's a tendency sometimes for the brush to get stuck in the rim of the drum. So try not to get too far to the outer rim of the drum when you're sweeping around. Now making an X form would give you a swish sound. You're going to get crossing the brush on top of each other, giving you a walking movement. that brings up another few points about the brushes that you'll find that are very interesting. Number one, remember that the type brush you use has a lot to do with it. If you're using wire, there's a tendency for the wire to put holes through the head, pinholes. Using a nylon brush made by Charles Cordis, or known as CC brush, will give you a nylon bristle that you'll find you'll get very rarely will you get any holes, pinholes in your drum heads. They are considered by many to be one of the better type brushes to use. So that gives you some idea on using the brushes in a bossa nova and in the samba, and doing a little drum break with the brush. We have part 2 coming up soon.